across the country. And
Varies from day to day.
Varies.
We don't.
You don't know. Yeah,
Some are on the
did
air,
ask
some
you.
off.
So we thank you very much, and I have
Thank you.
actually been a guest on one of those
Right.
shows with Father Don several times.
He's terrific.
He is awesome. He has also just started an online newspaper at theactiveconservative.com.
Theactiveconservative.com, that's correct.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then in his spare time, he is a practicing physician.
That's it.
So you're
It's-
amazing.
It's a lot of fun. If you do something you love,
then
then
works.
it's never work.
It-
And that's the key to it, is do something that you're passionate about, that you love,
Mhm.
and it's never work. And I've become very passionate as a student of marketing. I thought I'd never like marketing.
Well, you had to market yourself.
I didn't understand
for
that. I
Shelby
thought
County
marketing,
Commissioner.
and I never took any courses in college on it, and I thought, that's crazy stuff. I found it to be fascinating, just
And
absolutely
That's,
fascinating.
I was listening on the radio, and they were talking about, they were interviewing somebody with television,
Mhm.
and they said, well, you're just a bunch of actors, you just deal with actors. He goes, no, we're a bunch of salesmen, because if we don't sell good, then all of those sponsors go away.
Well, what I've found is everyone is a salesman. Whether you're a homemaker or whatever, you're selling your kids on getting a good education. You're
True.
selling your kids on doing their homework. You're selling your kids on
Doing their chores.
and if you're a husband, you're selling your wife on, let's go do this, or let's watch this game rather than do that. And if you're the wife, you're selling your husband on, you're not going to do that, basically. But everyone is selling something. You're trying to promote your ideas, and if it's to help humankind, it's a great thing. And that's why I wanted to come here and talk to you about people being on TV, on radio, radio, TV, newspaper, magazine.
Yeah. And-
So we need to get people that have these great ideas to express them to other people,
Mhm.
get them over this camera shyness, this microphone shyness. And everyone, when they get in front of a camera, these lights go on, and they all of a sudden look
They
like
freeze.
deer in headlights, and they don't say anything, they don't do anything. And people have got to get over that. And people say, well, I get afraid, and I get... The way you get over this is you understand your message. What are you trying to say? And if your message, if the people that you're talking to mean more to you than your simple fear of looking foolish or silly, and you won't look foolish or silly if you're passionate about it.
There you go.
You can be like Tom Cruise, and you can jump up and down on a couch, and people say, look, he was passionate. And that's become an icon kind of thing,
Yeah.
jumping up and down on the couch. Now, I'm not going to do that today.
Thank you.
Jump
Thank
up
you.
and down.
I'm sure Sherry appreciates
Yeah,
that.
well, I've got a little stool here, I'm afraid I'd fall off, and then I'd have to go find a
It might
doctor.
increase the viewers though.
Yeah, viewership might go up, but...
May go viral.
It would go viral, yes.
But I want to help people banish that fear. And what it is, you've got to remember, if you've ever seen someone drowning,
Mhm.
if you've ever seen someone in a car wreck, people will go over and do something. They'll jump in the pool with their clothes on. They may think, oh, that's, if you walk around and say, I would never jump in the pool. If you've got to do something in the moment, to do something to help somebody, that's what you've got to think you're doing now. You're helping someone that is stuck. They're stuck somewhere.
Mhm.
And your message, if they don't hear your message, their message won't get out. So that's how important this is to get that through. And people say, oh, okay, I get that. I can get on camera. They say, but I don't like the way I look on camera, but I don't like the way I sound. Too bad. That's the way you are. Now, I gotta admit, I came in here with a ripped up t-shirt and everything, and Carol, she got me and she said, no, that's not the image you want to present. You're gonna put on a pink shirt and put on a coat, and she doesn't, I have shorts on, no, I'm kidding. But she can, it's your image. If you cannot get an image consultant, look at a magazine, dress like them, model them, and have a nice image on. And you say, well, I don't know, I've never been on Well, you can practice and say, well, I don't have a camera and I can't do all of this.
Everybody has a camera now.
Here's your camera.
Yes.
Not necessarily an iPhone. I'm not promoting Apple products, but you can have an Android or any kind. They all have cameras in them. You hold it up and you reverse the camera and you can see yourself and you record something. You record something on video. Record your message and then look at it. And first time you look at it, say, I'll never do that. And then you look at it again, and then you do it again, and then you look at it again. You get better and better each time you do it. That's your practice. So you don't have to come on a big time show like this and say, oh my gosh, what do I say next? And what happens is you usually shut down. You'll see all of this, all of these things going on, and it's the same way a lion tamer uses a three-legged or four-legged stool or chair to tame a lion. You know how that works. I mean, the lion could knock the chair or the
That
stool
chair
in.
completely away.
The lion sees 4 legs or 3 legs, gets confused, and therefore doesn't do anything. It's confusion that gets you. And you see the lights, you see the camera, you see
And there
people
is a
doing
lot.
things. You get confused and you sit there like, they say, what's your name? I say, I sort of forgot. And then the main thing is get in front of a camera. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. People want you to be human.
Yes.
People want you to absolutely be human and get out there and do something and don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about being perfect. Make a few errors. Miss a few words. Misspell something or say something wrong. People want to relate to people they know. They want to know you on video. They want to like you. If you're passionate, they're going to like you, and they want to trust you. And know,
Trust.
like, and trust. If you can get somebody to know, like, and trust you, they're going to not only do business with you, they're going to take care of whatever your needs are because you're giving them. You want to give first, and then you'll ask them for something, a call to action. You just like the young man back there. He's giving you a sample of his coffee. Now, if you love his coffee, you're going to say, I want to buy some coffee from him. And it's just the same thing. Give something, and then ask. And make sure that you've done all of that. Now, do you have any questions? Or have I made it clear?
No, you're doing great. And these are things because a lot of, we had a guest on a few months ago that is making money off of vlogging. She's got a video on YouTube, and she's
Right.
a YouTube channel. People go in there all the time. And she puts a commercial for her own products in there. So yes, it's, totally awesome. And if we're looking at, let's switch hats just a second and look at the business end of things. Like radio, you've got a lot of radio. Radio now, I've got my Blog Talk radio show, and it's an internet radio show. And I interviewed a designer out of New York.
Right.
And they were more excited that it was internet radio than broadcast radio.
There are two different things in internet versus broadcast radio. And the way you look at them, neither one of them is in competition with the other one. Broadcast radio is for everyone. It goes out to everyone. Internet radio, you're able to get a niche market. You're only trying to attract,
A certain person.
leverage, and retain those people that are really interested. And you get those people that are very interested in your product, your service, then they're going to tune in, and then you can get their email address and communicate with them. Now in broadcast, you're becoming a name. You're becoming a basic name, but it's a broadcast versus a narrowcast. And so everybody does a little bit of both, but the internet talk radio, internet TV, it's great, but it goes out worldwide.
Exactly.
It's a worldwide broadcast, and you pick people, and your rate may be 1% of the people that are interested, but 1% of the world is a lot of
It's
people.
a lot of people.
A lot
Yes,
of
it is. Yes, it is. Now, internet broadcast, internet TV, internet newspapers.
Right.
You've entered that world.
I have, and I found it very interesting what we're doing, and that's the reason we called it the active conservative. We want people that are conservative, and if liberals want to watch it, that's great. If they want to come and they're going to make negative comments, and people can get on there and make all kind of comments, and we just want people to be able to express their opinion. And there's so many people out there with opinions that are pent up. They're not being able to get out there, and the internet has opened that up.
Yeah.
And you say, what will I say if I'm on internet TV or if I'm on radio? What you do is you say, okay, I've got 15 minutes or 30 minutes. You prepare for about an hour. And then, therefore, you'll never run out of anything to say.
There you
Just
go.
over-prepare.
Mhm.
And if someone wants to, if you're going along about how to be fearful or not fearful on radio or TV, television, magazines, that kind of thing, and someone asks you a question about the business of it,
Mhm.
you've over-prepared. I have an answer prepared for that. So you're not thrown off course. If you know what you're going to do, know what you're going to say, the fear goes away.
There you go.
You don't have any fear.
Being
I've
prepared.
already prepared for whatever you're going to ask me. And go ahead and ask me something off the top of your head if you want. But
Well, I was gonna say, if somebody, where did you get your content and what you're using on theactiveconservative.com?
actually, I'm the editor of that.
Okay.
I read about things going on in the world, and if it's an issue that I think is very interesting, what I do is I just do a post and I'll say, what do you think about so and so going on? And I want other people to
To
have their
have their
opinion. It's
response.
not me trying to force my opinion on someone else. And people can disagree all they want. And I think it's great to have social, civil discourse. I mean, we keep it civil because it is a G-rated thing, and kids can go to it, and we don't want any curse words on it. My philosophy on that is if you have to use curse words, you need to increase your vocabulary. And
That is starting to come up a lot more. I'm seeing people say that a lot more, that
right.
using expletives, using.
Well, we
curse
call
words,
it inelegant
Yeah, it's-
conversation.
just shows a lack of vocabulary skills.
Yes.
That's all it does.
It does. If you're lost for words and the only one you can come up with is some kind of curse word, well, you need to go to the dictionary and learn some new words.
And I find it amazing that I'm hearing that left and right now, so I think people are tired of hearing it.
I believe they
They're
are.
tired of hearing it.
And I have to kind of screen the movies for my grandkids now, and some of them put in extra curse words to be able to have that R rating or
Yeah.
that PG-13, or you don't really need it.
Mhm.
I see so many of them, I say they could bleep that out, and
Yeah, there's
it would
no
go
need.
okay.
Yeah, there's no need for it to be in there. Well, what would be your advice for someone who is just starting up, trying to get a show going, whether it's television, radio, or even an online newspaper or blog? What would be your backbone advice to them?
Well, the first thing you've got to do is figure out what you want.
Okay?
So you've got to define what you want to do. What is it you want to do? Define it. Define it, write it down. So many great ideas come up in the shower. And then I'm sorry, they do.
They do.
And you got to admit, they come up in the shower. Then you come out and you get all dressed and you say, what was that idea? Or that idea wasn't that great. But your most creative ideas, whenever they come up, start writing them down. Write down what your creative ideas are. Define what you want. Put it down in words. Put it down in writing. Write it out with a pen and pencil
You should
and
have a
paper.
notepad right by the beds,
But-
because the other place is as you're falling asleep.
Yes, yes, and
Oh, I'll
3 or
remember
4
that
times I'll
tonight.
write down, oh, this is the greatest idea in the world. I'll look at it in the morning and say, what was I talking? Well, I can't even read my writing. But define it. And then, once you've defined it, you design it. How you like the D's coming up.
There you go.
And then you design what you want to do. Do you want to do a blog? Do you want to do an online newspaper? Do you want to do a TV show? Do you want to do a radio show, internet radio show? There are all kind of things out there to be able to do that. You can do a TV show with your iPhone or with your Android. You can just sit there and record it, bam, load it up to YouTube, or do something on Ustream, and you're on the air. Don't worry about doing everything else. Don't worry. And You say, well, I don't have this fancy backdrop, I don't have this. Do it in your kitchen, do it wherever you want to do it. Just make sure that you can come out.
Do you know the first time that we did BOCI like this, BOCI TV like this, we were facing that whiteboard right there, and she wrote with the marker, "Business over coffee" on the board.
First time I did a TV show, I actually had my secretary write it out, and we put it on sticky stuff on a curtain, and it got the job done.
It got the job done.
So once you get the job done, you're fine. But
A
then,
very famous broadcaster has
Yeah.
brought back chalkboards.
that's right. But so you've defined it, you've designed it, and then you've deployed it. Now, the main thing they'll define and design, but then they won't deploy. They won't get it online. They won't get it wherever you want. Online is so easy now, so easy to do. And I heartily recommend anyone that really wants to do it, get out there and just do it. Now, you probably won't get a million followers on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all of the LinkedIn. You probably won't get that the first day. That is where persistence is really pays off. If you're that committed to what you're doing, by defining and designing what you're doing, then deploying, you just keep on doing it, and you will gradually find the people that are interested. Now, anyone that's done, direct mail knows that about a 0.1% return on direct mail is good. If you get a 1%, if you engage 1% of the U.S. population or the world population, you got a lot of people. So don't expect everybody in your block, in your neighborhood, in your state even, to be a raving fan. Because that's what we're trying to do, is people go from suspect to prospect. And then they buy into what you're doing. It could be money, it could be your idea, but you want them to get all the way over to raving fan. And when they're a fan of yours, then things start to go viral. But it takes a little while.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that you're not just a flash in the pan, that you're going to stick around, that you're going to be there. Because if they go to tell somebody about you, say, you got to go see this, and they go to your website and you haven't put up a post or you haven't done a new video in the past 3 months, it's not very active. So that's the reason we want you to be active on
Doing
TV.
it, continually doing it.
Continually.
Yeah.
And that's as simple. Define, design, and deploy. And once you've done that, we call it growing organically versus paying for traffic and that kind of thing. Now, you can pay for traffic, but that traffic probably is not going to stick around. The people that find you
That are looking for you.
that are looking for you, and there's a search engine out there for everybody, and they'll find you. But the more you post, the higher you go up on that search engine. And all of these black hat things and gray hat things to do SEO, search engine optimization, all of these quotes, semi-legal ways of doing it, there are plenty of them out there, but they don't stick. The tried and true, all you got to do is keep on posting,
Persistence.
keep on doing it, and they're just looking for people that are using robots to do it, because everything online is sold. You do this once, it's going to take you 5 clicks of the mouse. You're going to go to the beach, and you're going to get new Rolls Royce every year, and you're going to, it's all going to be great. You're going to make money while you sleep, and you do all of this from the kitchen table, 5 clicks the first time and 3 clicks every day thereafter. And that's all you ever have to do. Work 5 minutes, take the rest of the day off, go to the beach, and go surfing. Well,
That's
it doesn't work
probably
like
not
that.
gonna happen. Yeah. I'm very, very impressed hearing all of this alternative media talking, coming from broadcast.
Well, broadcast is migrating to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
every
as I
show
say,
we
and
do
that was
on
my next
every
thing
show
is
we do on Sports
everything you do.
56, we have a podcast.
Yeah, we had some young people whose parents lived in other countries, other states, that were going to be on Father Don's Talk It Out show,
Right.
That's broadcast on Flinn radio stations. And we told them we sent them the link to the radio
Right.
station and said, here is the time,
Mhm.
your
Yeah,
son
oh,
or
yeah, well,
daughter
all-
are gonna be on the radio.
All of our
And
stations
of
are
course-
online.
Yeah, and of course, they sent that to all of their friends and relatives, so you had people listening to Father Don that probably never listened to him before, all because of online.
I'll tell you a funny story. Funny story, and then I know you've got other guests. But we had, and I think we still have, on Ustream,
Uh-huh.
we have our
Which is
radio
where we're at
station.
right now.
I know our radio stations. You can look at the control rooms, and so they thought, oh, this is a great thing. But I would go on there and I'd see the DJ reading the paper or something like that, and I'd call them up and say, don't read the paper. You need to be paying attention. So they didn't like being monitored so much, but it's a funny story. But I've got great people working with me, and they're fabulous.
We've done makeovers on DJs before, and they've all said, yeah, we're sitting there, you think we're all dressed up, well, we're sitting there in t-shirts and shorts because nobody sees us. They can't say that
That's
anymore.
right. They cannot say that because they're now on TV and radio.
So, send your DJs to me, I will take care of them, make sure
Good.
they're video ready, okay?
I'll tell them I came in a dirty, torn up T-shirt. What you don't know, it was a designer T-shirt. I paid extra money to have it torn like
There
that.
you go.
But this, I really like this look that you suggested, and thank you very much.
You're so sweet. And he maybe said that I've actually worked with him at Joseph A. Bank, so I really have dressed him, so. Okay.
Yes.
All right, good job.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Flynn, and you can find him at theactiveconservative.com or flynnbroadcasting.com, and you can.
Flynn.com, GeorgeFlynn.com, I'm all over the place.
He's everywhere.
Because I believe in it.
Mhm.
And if I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be buying the URLs and putting
it all out there.
things out there.
Yes, and you have already said you're coming back. We have another
Coming back,
topic that
we've got
we're
one
going
to do
develop a
that you
whole
do
show around.
not want to miss.
No, you don't.
I mean, you think this one's good, the next one's gooder.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Thank you again,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Flynn, for taking time out. And I understand I thought you were going to Washington for business, but. you're
Oh,
going
no,
there
this
for
is
even
big
better.
business.
This is even
When I go
better.
to Washington DC, my granddaughters make sure my credit card stays warm at the top from swiping it.
So you're going to see grandkids,
That's
not
right.
bigwigs. So have fun with that. And
Yes.
thank you again for taking time out to be here with us, Dr. George Flynn.
Thank you.
Give him a big round of BOCI TV. Find us at Twitter. Find us on Twitter at BOCoffee, hashtag BOCI, and businessovercoffee.com. That's awesome. You can still find it at .biz, but it's at .com now too. Bringing everyone together. Go online, get your free profile, and that you need to do too before you leave here.
I certainly do.
Okay, and I think somebody is set up to help you get that done, and
Okay.
then head off to the airport and those grandkids.
Terrific.
All right, thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Flynn.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.